beautiful weirdos, a very tired, very rundown Charlotte here. Welcome back to Pretty Scary and 31 Days of Halloween. Tonight I am turning myself into a zombie rainbow unicorn. Ooh. I've been really looking forward to doing this one, so I'm very excited. Just want to say a few things. Firstly, I'm very run down because I'm so tired, so please bear with me. I'm looking a bit like crap, I know, but you know, I've been putting in some long hours for you, Beauts. Secondly, I've had a new piercing. Check it out, Beauts, check it out. It was extremely painful, but I love it, and I hope you do too. And thirdly, I had the sweetest note yesterday from one of my subscribers. Look, how cute is that? And she drew some amazing pictures, all based on my channel. And it was the cutest thing ever, and it made my day. I was incredibly touched. So Emily, thank you so much. She's been recreating some of my tutorials as well, and she's definitely a makeup star in the making, so keep up the good work, Emily, and I will share a couple of your makeup pics on my page once the Halloween madness is over. So thank you so much, Emily. Right, I am going to make a start, Beauts. I'm going to stick on my scary stories and make a start on my zombie unicorn. Don't know what that is. Unicorn's got hooves. We're going to start by making the unicorn ears. I'm using Model Magic for this. I got the tip off Jordan Hans, who is amazing. Check her out if you haven't already. I will link her channel down below. And Model Magic is a kind of foam-like clay that you can just mould into whatever you like. And it dries, but it doesn't set hard, which I found out to my cost. You'll see that later. So I just shaped it into rough ear shapes and then just cut into the edges with some scissors and my nails, just to make it look a bit kind of zombified and gnarly. And then I made the unicorn horn by rolling 2 pieces of the Model Magic, rolling the one end thinner than the other. Rolled these both exactly the same length, and then I just twisted them together. The Model Magic does tend to want to stick to itself, so be careful while you're doing this. And then I cut the end off, and there we go. Oh, and I also just put some grooves into it with the edges of the scissors just to give it some texture. Then moving on to the application. So I'm just drawing out where I want my zombie features to be. I used various different reference pictures of zombie unicorn artwork I found on Google, and I just kind of mixed it up and made it my own. So just doing some areas of decay with some latex and cotton wool. This is to basically look as if part of the unicorn skin has rotted away and that the muscle is showing through. So a couple of areas on the nose, a bit of rotting muscle on the forehead and some on the cheek. And then I just put some latex on there with the spatula, and I kind of sculpted lines into those areas to make them look more like muscle fibres basically. I decided that was looking a bit too symmetrical on the nose, so I kind of pushed it around a bit to make it look less symmetrical. And then I sculpted the unicorn nostrils. I wasn't really quite sure what to do with the nose of the unicorn. I originally started making one out of Model Magic and it just wasn't working. So I decided to just try and make myself some big horse nostrils basically, but keep myself kind of a horse-human hybrid. So I just made the bigger nostrils and then sculpted a slightly bigger nose to make myself look a little bit more horse-like, but not a complete horse replica. Just smooth that down with latex and let it dry, and then once all those latex areas are dried, I just went in with some white water-based face paint, just avoiding that area around the mouth, which will be the exposed teeth. And I've previously blocked out my brows too, so I'm just going over them with white, and then going in with a brush over any areas that need a little bit of extra coverage. Going over with a brush and then just dabbing with a sponge just to blend it in. You don't need to worry about the white looking too solid because you are a zombie unicorn, so you don't have to be too kind of neat with your white base. went over with powder and then realised it was a bit of a rookie error because I made the nose powder coloured, skin coloured, so I had to go over that with white again. And then once I'd done that, I started going over the muscle areas with a bright red. I kind of wanted to go for a sort of cartoony zombie rainbow unicorn, so I didn't keep the colours too realistic. I went a bit kind of over the top with them. And then just drawing in those teeth on the exposed tooth area. Don't forget you're drawing horse teeth, so they would be a little bit bigger than your human teeth, but you're kind of unicorn human hybrid, so they wouldn't be as big as horse teeth. And then just going over those with some white face paint, and then painting in the gums with a pink face paint. And then using a red face paint just to give a little bit of depth to the edge of the gums. And we will do some more shading later on. And then going in with a black face paint and a very, very fine brush in between all those teeth. And also to paint those nice big horsey nostrils. And then starting on with the shading. So because I'm a zombie rainbow unicorn, I wanted to bring in some pinks and purples. So I went in with a pink MAC eyeshadow first of all along the eye sockets. And then I used the same pink to start carving out some of the features. Actually no, it wasn't the same pink, it was a deep pink, which you saw me point out there. So I don't know why it's not the same thing. But anyway, yeah, so I just took this around all the features and used it to start contouring the face too. Also went around all those exposed muscle areas to make it look a little bit sort of irritated and a bit rotten. Along the jawline and the socket lines again. And then I went in with a purple and a stiffer, smaller brush and just basically went along all the same areas but adding a little bit more depth with that purple. You want to look rotten but you want to look kind of magical at the same time. Magical, rotten, zombie, unicorn, pop art. Yes, there's a lot of ideas going into this Beauts, but it does all work out in the end, you'll see. So just shading around the eyes. Now because the light was quite low in my room, I have got really, really dilated pupils, which makes it look like I'm wearing blackout contact lenses, which I'm not. And then just going in with a smoky grey to add some depth and shading around that rotten area around the mouth, and also to add some shape to the gums. So just putting that in with that small stiff brush again, and then just blending out with the fluffy end of the brush. Also bringing some shading down from those torn areas of skin too, just to give a little bit of dimension around that area. And then with the same grey, I'm going around all the exposed muscle areas and just blending those, and also going on just the inside edge of the eye socket to add a little bit more depth and make it look a bit kind of haunted and skeletal. Around the nose, and then I'm just kind of shading in above the nostrils as well to make them look more horse-like. And sort of adding some areas of decay as well with that dark grey. You can be as messy as you like with this because, yeah, you're a zombie, so you're decaying and, you know, falling to pieces and stuff. Right, then I wanted to do some kind of strands of flesh where it's kind of rotted underneath, but there's still some strings of flesh going down over the top of the rotten areas. So I just twizzled some cotton wool between my fingers and then just stuck that down with some latex, and this worked really, really well. Just gives a little bit of extra dimension to the look as well and makes it look extra, extra creepy. You can add as few or as many strings as you like. fact I like this so much that I may have to do another look with this stringy effect because it looks proper cool. So I added some of those strings to the exposed muscle on the forehead too. A little bit of extra latex just to make sure that that's all stuck down in place. I did one string over one of the nostrils too, and a little bit of a string across the nose just to look a bit sort of extra rotten. And then I went in with some black face paint to extra define those deeper areas. So you don't want to go over the whole bit that you shaded with the grey eyeshadow, but just right at the absolute edges, just to add a little bit of extra dimension and depth and make it look a bit more pop arty too. So shading around those strings too, just to make them really pop. And stippling some very watered down black paint on too to make it look a little bit more rotten. Now I decided to do a kind of a faux hawk to give a unicorn like hairstyle. So I just separated off the front section and pulled it up into a messy bun with a little bit coming down the front to look like a horse fringe. Then I took the mid section and did the same, and then I took the bottom section and put it into a ponytail to look like the sort of the end of the horse mane, and then I just kind of pinned that up a little bit because it's a little bit too long, and back combed the whole lot, and it worked really, really well for this kind of horsey look. Then I pinned on my ears. Incidentally, I painted the ears and the horn with just acrylic paints, and then I painted them kind of with pinky shades, and then I made them look a bit rotten with yellowy and browny shades just stippled on top. And then just wiping off the face paint where I wanted to stick that horn, putting some prosaide on both my skin and onto the horn itself. And while I'm waiting for that to go clear and tacky, I'm just going in and shading around my collarbones and my kind of my neck tendons even, tendrils, with some pink and purple just to tie the body in with the rest of the face. And then going in with the dark grey again just to deepen those up, and an even deeper grey just for extra depth. And now that the glue has gone tacky, I'm sticking my horn on, but I did have some horn droop, as you can see, because Model Magic doesn't go hard, so I did have to cut the horn down, so don't follow my example. So yeah, so I stuck the shorter horn on, and I put some latex and cotton wool around the base just to make it extra secure and to make it look like it was kind of growing out of the forehead rather than just being stuck on there. And then I used some black liquid eyeliner just for a little bit of extra definition around those teeth. And I also did a kind of a point on the inner eyes to make them look a bit more sort of animalistic. And then just to fine tune with a little bit more kind of rotten shaded areas basically. Went over those muscle areas again with more red because it got a bit more muted down, and then I painted some going down my chin to look like blood. Added plenty of water and dripped it down too, and then I added some darker congealed blood to areas just to give a little bit of darker, more aged looking blood and a little bit of depth.
Beauts, this is the finished zombie unicorn. I hope you like it. I am extremely pleased with this. I think it's one of my favourite looks yet. Anyway, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please comment down below where you saw Edward the Misshapen Bear and what he's wearing today. And I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already.
Just switching to voiceover to say thank you so much for all your support, Beauts, during the 31 days of Halloween. It's been hard work, but I have loved it. Love ya!